Number 15, simplify 4p the fifth q cubed times p squared q to the negative 4. So here, we just add exponent 4 times any number? None. So we write the 4 here, p, we write the p, and 5 plus 2 is 7. We have the q, so we have q, and 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Right here, okay, 4p to the 7, and then we put q down, so over q. A. Write the number 0.0605 in standard form. When we say standard form, it means we have times 10 to the positive or negative exponent. So for this one, for the standard form of this number, we will write our decimal point there. It is a small number. It's a decimal. It means that our exponent is negative. So how many? 1 and 2. So that will become 6.05. The decimal point is here now. And we moved our decimal point to the right. Means this one is a small number. 1, 2. So we have negative. And then we write the 2 here. This one is the standard form of our decimal. Letter B, calculate 1.63 times 10 to the 12th times 2.47 times 10 to the negative 1. Here we have same base 10 and base 10. We are just going to add the 12 and the negative 1. But we will multiply their numerical coefficients, which is 1.63 and 2.47. So if we are going to multiply 1.63 times 2.47 or 0.026, still 1 there, 4.261 times 10, and then add 12 plus negative 1 is 11. So this is the standard form of the product. Number 17, expand and simplify. So we can use a double distributive here, or we can use the FOIL method. So if we are going to use the double distributive here, so let's say first the x here, x times x, and that is x squared. And then positive, negative, so negative x times 7 is negative 7x. And then afterwards, we have the negative 5. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And then negative times negative here is positive. And 5 times 7 is 35. And then we combine like terms. So we have x squared minus 7x minus 5x is minus 12x. Then we copy the 35 here. And that is number 17. Number 18 class, we have Mrs. Salaman gives her class 2 mathematics test. And we have this scatter diagram here. So when we have test 1, test 2, or we have English and maths, physics, and chemistry, and we are comparing them. What is the relationship between these two quantities? Now, if we have a graph in which we can draw a line slanting to the right, that is a positive correlation. What do we mean by positive correlation? It means that when the first quantity increases, the second quantity also increases. That is a direct proportion. So that's why it's positive. When one is increasing, the other one is increasing. If the other one is decreasing, the other one is also decreasing. So that is positive correlation. Now, if our points are arranged such that we can draw a line slanting to the left, like we have points scattered like this, and we can draw a line slanting to the left. That is a negative correlation. So what do we mean by negative correlation? It means that when the first quantity increases, the other one decreases. So if this one is decreasing, the other one is increasing. So for negative correlation, it's the first quantity is increasing, the other one is decreasing. It's like that one. While in positive correlation, they are both increasing or they are both decreasing. Now, when the points are scattered throughout that we can't draw any line, then there is no relation between the two quantities. Is a zero correlation. When we have a correlation, we have like this one is 0, this one is 1, and this one is negative 1. If we have a correlation of positive 1, it is a perfect correlation. If we have a negative 1, it's also a perfect correlation, but it is negative. It negates the relationship. Okay? When we have a zero correlation, then we don't have any relation between the quantities. Somewhere here we have a strong positive correlation, and on the other side, we have also a strong negative correlation. We have also a weak correlation, weak positive correlation, and a weak negative correlation. Now, we have test 1, and instead of drawing a circle for test 1, maybe we can have a circle here and an X for test 2. You can have, for example, this one is test 1, test 1. We can plot our points by making it different from the other scores. So we know that this one is for test 1 and this one is for test 2. But we are not concerned of the identifying the points. We are concerned only of whether they are positive correlation or negative correlation. So when we plot them, we have these points. And this is not a perfect correlation because the points, they don't lie in a line. So we need to draw the line of best fit. So let's have the line of best fit here. So we can divide that one into 2. For example, we have this one here. Get the centroid of the upper half. Get the centroid of the lower half. For example, here we have the upper half. So for the upper half, just divide it again into equal number of points. So we can draw the vertical here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can have, or 7. So we can have our vertical here. And then divide it upper half and lower half again. So this is the first centroid here. And then in the lower half, we get also the centroid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can draw here. And then equal number of points on the left and right. And then equal number of points on the upper part and lower part also. For example, we have the other centroid here of the lower half. And then we can draw a line from this first centroid to the second centroid, and we have the line of best fit. Our diagram is not exactly the same as in our past paper. Okay, it's only like estimate of the points. You see, we don't have the 70. In our papers, we have the 70. So after that one, this is our line of best fit, and we can estimate the test. For example, test 1 is given here. What is that one in test 2? So we can use this one. And also, because we have drawn a straight line slanting to the right, we know that we have a positive correlation. So in your question there, you have letter A is find the highest score in test 1. So in test 1, because there is no circle or all of them are x. So you can find that in test 1 here, this one, in test 1, the highest score is 65. If that one is in test 2, the highest score, this one is also the highest score. In test 2 is only 60. There's a score of a boy. Let us estimate that one at 35. But that one is not 35 in your paper. So 35, what will be his score in test 2? So we'll just draw a line. This one is 35. We'll just estimate this one. Draw a line until it intersects the line of best fit. And then you draw a horizontal here. So we can estimate that the score of this boy is 35 in test 1 and 41, maybe it's 41 in test 2. And that is how to use the scatter diagram. Number 19, we have the length L in centimeters of a sheet of paper is 29.7 centimeters, and this correct to the nearest millimeter. So we are going to get the upper bound and the lower bound. So this one is in centimeters and this one is to the nearest millimeters. We change this one first to millimeters. So that 29.7 is actually 297 millimeters. So to the nearest millimeters means here. So for the upper bound and lower bound, it's 1. We divide it by 2, so it is 0.5. So we add a 0.5 here plus 0.5 here, and then we subtract 0.5 from here. So minus 0.5 here for the lower bound. So the upper bound is 297 plus 0.5 is 297.5, and the upper bound is here. So we have 297.5. But the length must be less than, not equal to 297.5. Because if we are going to round off this one, it will become 298. So we have the less than here, not less than or equal to. We are going to subtract 0.5 from 297. So we have here 296.5, which is equal also to the length. Because if we are going to round off this one becomes 297. It's correct. Okay, number 20, we will work out without using calculator in our fraction. So this is 2 1/3 minus 7 over 8 times the 6 over 25. We do first this one because these two fractions are inside the parentheses. Okay, we change first this mixed fraction into improper fraction. So we multiply 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7 over 3, and then minus, we have 7 over 8. Okay, let's find the difference of these two fractions here. Okay, so let's find the LCD. So the LCD of 3 and 8 is 24. Okay, we have 24 here. So I have 24 divided by 3. Of course, it's 8 times 7 is 56. Minus 24 over 8 is 3 times 7 is 21. Then we can subtract now. Okay, over 24, and then we multiply by 6 over 25. Now we can do the consolation, it's easier. So we divide this 35 and 25 by 5. So 35 divided by 5 is 7. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 6 and 5? No. 6 and 24? Yes. We can divide this by 6 is equal to 1. Divide this by 6 and we have 4. And then we now multiply. 7 times 1 is 7. And then 4 times 5 is 20.